Oh shit. Hello, what's up? Mike DelPrete here, Executive Director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, and we are on another episode of From Principles, from Success Principles to Properties. So, 64 episodes. We're going to break through Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles, and every chapter, I'm just going to go direct from the book, explain exactly what they mean based on the book, as well as try to give some insights and some uh, from my career in real estate investing and how this book has changed the way I thought and helped my career in investing. So I wanted to share those examples with you because I think it's a very important book. So Jack Canfield, The Success Principles, highly recommend it. Go check it out. I'm just gonna, as always, make sure that we're up and running here on my end. And if you're new, uh, definitely go back and check out the. We're on episode 10. We're called Release the Brakes. So you can go back 9 episodes, and all 64 principles play on each other, and they build up uh, and build a foundation for you to work off of. So I highly recommend going back to episode 1 and checking that out. Cool. Everything's good. So there is a chat box. Feel free to drop a question, comment, concern. If you like these episodes, you like the way it works, any suggestions, concerns, comments, whatever you'd like to drop, feel free to let me know, as well as like, subscribe, and all that good stuff here at AZREIA, the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. We are the premier REIA, licensed REIA under the National REIA umbrella, where we provide education, networking opportunities, support, market updates to real estate investors throughout the state of Arizona. We've been doing that successfully for 21 years now. We are on our 22nd year of serving real estate investors and helping them become better homeowner or landlords, homeowners, fix and flippers, lenders through our resources, which then provide safe, clean, affordable housing for the citizens of the state of Arizona. So, we love what we do. We're excited about it every single day. So, I'm excited to bring this 64 episode book to you, and I'll just jump in. Like I said, and if you have any questions, drop it in. Drop it in if you're out there, right? So, we're going to talk about release the brakes. So, like I said, I'm going to also jump into some verbiage straight from the book. So, if it sounds like I'm reading, I am. Everything you want is just outside your comfort zone. Robert Allen, the 1 Minute Millionaire. So Robert Allen also wrote all the No Money Down books, legendary educator in the real estate investing space, especially for creative financing. One of my favorite quotes from Robert Allen is, we look for don't wanters. In order to get a really good deal in real estate investing, we look for people that don't want their houses. 98% of people want their house and if they do choose to sell, they want top dollar, and they'll go with a on MLS with a real estate agent, which is totally fine. They should. Nothing wrong with that. However, there is that small percentage that don't want the house due to inheritance and they can't afford to keep it up. Divorce, probate, fire damage, floods, death, drugs. There's all these scenarios in life where sometimes a house is more of a headache than value, right? So they'd rather get rid of the property at a discounted rate or a creative structure where it allows you to control or own a profitable investment property, bring it back up into shape, fix it up, clean it up, resell it, rent it, whatever it may be. There is that percentage of people out there that just don't want houses. So that's, as a real estate investor, that's what you need to do and get good at. So uh, going into the principle here, have you ever been driving your car and suddenly realized you had left the emergency brakes on? Did you push down harder on the gas to overcome the drag of the brake? No, of course not. You simply released the brake with no extra effort. You started to go faster. So most people drive through life with their emergency brake on. They hold on to the negative images about themselves. They suffer the effects of powerful experience they haven't yet released. They stay in their comfort zone entirely of their own making of their own making. Rule number one, episode number one: take 100% responsibility for your life. They maintain inaccurate beliefs in reality or harbor guilt, self doubt. And when they try to achieve their goals, these negative images and pre programmed comfort zones always cancel out their good intentions, no matter how hard they try. Successful people, on the other hand, have discovered, instead of using increased willpower as an engine to power their success, it's simply easier to release the brakes, let go, and replace those limiting beliefs and change their self images. So, me growing up, I remember I was driving through, I'm from Connecticut, right? Smaller city in the East Coast. We're driving by a cemetery. There's a lot of cemeteries out there. And I was like, why did some have, flat gravestones and some have big ones? My older cousin I looked up to goes, because they're rich and you're not. And you won't be rich. So, that's your cousin that you look up to. And you're like 7, like I still remember that like it was yesterday. So we all have those situations in our lives at some way, shape, or form. And that subconsciously, that's in you. So when you're going to get that job, going to ask someone out on that date, or get that degree, or whatever, try that new business, or write that offer to that homeowner, you're broke, Mike, or whatever it is, right? That you deal with. Some people, they never have issues with this stuff. Some of us do. So that's what we need to talk about. We need to let go of those limiting beliefs and forgive them and be thankful for what they did. Like, one thing I like to say is, we all have baggage or bad experiences in some way, shape, or form in our life. So all you could do, I recommend, is you look at that situation and you say, what good came of this, right? What are the positives of this? That, what has this done in my life that created something good? And keep those and remember those and keep them with you and take them to the future. Whereas the rest of it, you could just crumble it up, throw it in the toilet bowl, and hit the flush button, right? And move on. So maybe easier said than done. But let's talk about some ways that we can release the brakes here. Most people have their brake on. Talked about that. Comfort zone. All right, our comfort zones are made up of can'ts, musts, unfounded beliefs, must nots, all this type of stuff. Those are those negative stories, those negative situations we're always talking about. So when you have these built up over years and years of people that influence you, your family, friends, whatever, and you have these I can't, I must not, or I'm not able to, I don't know how, all these situations, it's kind of like that story of the elephant that, since it was born, right, they got the wooden peg in the courtyard, and they got a rope on that peg, or a chain, and they got the chain only goes X amount of feet, and it's tied to the bottom of the elephant's foot. So it could only have a circumference of around that peg of whatever, 20 feet, whatever it is. So it's like a perfect circle. So the elephant can never, since it's a baby, go past that circle, that 20 feet. And then when the elephant is older, they could take that chain off, and the elephant will never go past that 20-foot mark, because for its whole entire life, it's been trained to stay within that circle, because every time it tried to get out over the years, it was always chained and it couldn't go past. That's exactly what is happening to us with these negative beliefs. And how else does that play into things, right? Think about when you are you're new to real estate investing, you want to get involved, and now we got the American dream to buy, right? The most expensive purchase of our life, a house. And especially as wholesalers, or if you want to be a fix and flipper, right? You're like, hey, I don't have $200,000, 100,000, 300, whatever your market is, right? To buy the house, right? Because you're thinking, hey, I don't have good credit, or the bank's not going to lend me money on a crappy house that needs $50,000, $60,000 in work. So how am I going to buy this thing, right? I don't have the money. I can't get the money. I don't have the experience. No one's going to let me borrow the money. Then I got to give the seller a low offer, and I don't even know how I'm going to get the money. I don't know how I'm going to fix it. I can't fix anything. Also, then I'm going to give a low offer. They're going to kick me out of their house. They're going to try to shoot me. They're going to whatever. They're going to be angry and never talk to me and hang up on me. Here, get what I'm saying? I'm pretty good at it because I've been there, right? So that's what you're thinking. So that's everything from your life is transitioning into this new business because it's out of your comfort zone. You're not comfortable in that scenario. Whereas within the peg and the 20 feet like an elephant, you're good. You know it. You know exactly where you can move, how fast, how slow, what you can and cannot do, right? It's simple to live in that circle. However, once you start going outside of that, your body, your brain is telling you like, hey, that's dangerous. Come back. Come take a couple steps back, right? Get back in our circle, right? Get back to your $50,000 a year job, and 2 weeks off. And mine was that drew the line in the sand when I started was like I was like 6 minutes over the allotted bathroom time on my punch clock. That every time I got out of my cubicle, I had to press a button, and then I got in trouble or warning for going 6 minutes over. So once you get out of that, just come back to that world. It's easy. It's simple. You get a paycheck every week. When it's not even secure, right? One job, yes, it's secure. Maybe if you have a good company, but what happens if that company goes out of business? What happens if they fire you? What if something just goes wrong? You get hurt, right? That one job is great and all in the beginning, but you gotta have more streams of income. The more streams of income you have coming into your life, the more financially healthy you are. So you got to get out of the comfort zone. All right. So don't be like that elephant and stuck in the middle. So what are some ways to maybe start working on that? Right? It takes time, takes effort. It doesn't happen overnight. One day at a time. Well, since we're talking about elephants, how you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So you can use affirmations, positive self-talk to affirm already having what you want, doing what you want, and being the way you want. That's another thing. That's scary. But my wife, my husband, my spouse, they know who I am. I am this person. My kids, my cousins, my parents, you are going to become a different person. The person you are today isn't the same person that could make $100,000 a year. That when you're making $100,000 a year, that $100,000 person isn't the same person that can make $500,000 a year, right? So there's levels to this and growth. You are the same person. You have a baseline, a foundation, but you're always expanding and growing. So what are some simple things, affirmations? When I am wealthy, right? I am successful. I am confident. I have expected and unexpected sources of income flowing into my life frictionless, easily, every single day, right? Can you talk like that? Sounds weird, right? But you got to start somewhere, right? Because all in your head, you're already saying, I can't, I must not, I don't know how. So you're easily doing that. You got to switch it, flip the switch. You can create powerful and compelling new internal images of having, doing, and being what you want. So, limiting thoughts create limiting images, which dictate our behavior, reinforcing the limiting thoughts. So, thoughts equal feelings, feelings equal actions. So, um, you gotta start changing those thoughts in order to change how you feel and how you act. If wholesaling real estate or fix and flipping or investing is so far fetched and impossible and it's a scam, you are going to get an uncomfortable feeling and you're going to retract and you're never going to read that book or take that one step or go to that networking event at AZREIA, right? But if you make an image or you say, hey, I can do it, I am successful, I do see myself owning a rental property, and I do see that extra few $100 a month change the way I operate on a monthly basis, or how it could support the future of my family. And by going to that net and picturing yourself at that networking event, shaking hands and rebuilding relationships that are going to help you, then you're going to have a little bit more energy and excitement to see what's out there and go do it and take that action. And that's really the key, right? So when it comes to law of attraction and law or just, thinking, it's always applying the action part, right? So like I said, if you're just jumping in, you're just hopping on here, this is Release the Brakes, episode 10 of reviewing Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles. We're calling it From Success Principles to Properties because I am the executive director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, largest association in the country. I've flipped over 700 houses. I have a large rental portfolio. I got Airbnbs. We got fix and flips. Like, we just all around real estate investor, my wife and I. And so that's it. It's all started from a cubicle at Verizon Wireless at the water cooler talk when someone said, have you heard how cheap real estate is? And I was like, man, I need to get out of here. And I looked into it, and that was it, man. I was on that 50-hour a week, that getting paid for 40 hours, working 50, right? So simply change your behavior. So affirmations and changing the images in your mind and being conscious of that is key. I'm just going to check to see if I saw some stuff pop in here. No questions. All right, drop any questions, comments, whatever you have. I'll jump right back into this. Let's see. Financial comfort zone. Let's talk about your thermostat. So it's called a baseline. Like a thermostat, we have a financial temperature that we're comfortable with. Like I said, your job, the way of life, the way you're doing things, you know how to make your salary, 50,000, 100,000, whatever it is. You do it like you're in the motions, just like when you get in your car and you go drive home from work, and then you pull in your driveway and you're like, how did I just get here? I was daydreaming so much. How did I even pull my driveway safely? So it's that GPS, that thermostat, that your temperature, you're comfortable in it, and your body just moves, your mind just moves, and anything over that, right? Or let's talk about your weight, right? I remember when I used to wear button-up shirts, right? It's like once that button got a little tight, it was like, hey, time to work out a little bit more, be a little bit more conscious, get that button a little bit loose, right? That was my thermostat at some level for my weight, was certain shirts that I had, right? So same thing in life for your finances, right? So you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to use those affirmations. You got to expose yourself to new experiences that can change your comfort zone, right? It can expand, right? What's that about rubber bands? like elastic bands, rubber bands, they get stretched out, but they never go back to the same size. So you can do the same. You can stretch. You can go to a networking event. You can buy a cheap course. You can read a book. You can hang out with other investors or whatever it is, and get exposed to the different ways they think, the different ways they act, right? So you got to start having those right affirmations, those right thoughts, which give you the right energy to go get outside of your comfort zone. There's other things, wearing different clothes, right? Just changing your lifestyle. I remember when my son was very little, 3 years old, 4 years old. We would go to San Diego. We would go. It was the Dolphin Motel, right? It was like the cheapest place, very nice place, very nice family. But it was like $60, right? Um, and that's what we would do, right? When I had a job working 9 to 5, cutting corners, saving money, doing whatever you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. Nothing wrong with that. Then, as time went by, you know, the restaurants I would go to started going. We try newer restaurants or more expensive restaurants, nicer hotels. Then all of a sudden you're in resorts, and then all of a sudden you're doing excursions, and you're doing all this different stuff as you grow, and get outside your comfort zone. But I will tell you, when we would go and say, let's get this nicer hotel, or let's go downtown San Diego and stay on the whatever that Grand Hyatt is or whatever, stay on the top floor. Like, it's like, oh shoot, like, I didn't want to pay so much. It was scary, right? Like, how am I going to make this money back? What if I don't make enough money to replace it? All those limiting thoughts come back. But over the years, I had to do it. You know what I mean? I had to get the nicer car. I got the nicer watch. Just things that we all have different things, right? So whatever it is to you, different. I remember I didn't even to a few years ago, I didn't even want to buy the Kanye, the Yeezys, right? Like, I was like, I love sneakers, and I was like, shit, I didn't pay whatever it was, 300, 400, whatever it was. I was like, man, just get my $150. I get some nice Jordans, but hey, it did it. Then you change and you adapt, right, to that lifestyle, and it always works out if you keep putting the work, and if you keep that constant rotation of thinking right, taking actions, and getting around the right people, getting out of your comfort zone. More opportunities come, different people come into your life, and things just work out. So try little things, right? Try the different. I'm not telling you to go broke, right? But I'm trying to say, let's change your financial temperature. Let's step it up a little bit, okay? Um, like I said, new experiences, maybe different clothes, different restaurants, different hotels, gradually, right? Just do it a little bit, but definitely start hanging around with different people. Um, Get your affirmations are powerful tools for changing the mindset, expanding your comfort zone. They should be positive, present tense, and include emotional words. Visualization is a potent method to achieve your goals. Activate into, I think, in the next episode. Yeah, I have family, spiritual, health, business. Was it vacations? It's all on a vision board, right? And you sit there every day and you look at it and you visualize yourself in that moment, right? Because your brain doesn't know. It's like you're just attracting that. You're just being in that moment, thinking about it with a great attitude, good feelings, and then kicks off your day, right? And then you go out and apply. You do goals and tasks that get you closer to those memories and those experiences. So that's in short is of this release to breaks. It's like, let's let go of those limiting beliefs and self-talk. Let's get out of the 20-foot circle like the elephant. Let's break loose a little bit. Let's dip our toe in the water a little bit. Change that financial temperature by thinking differently, using affirmations, getting out into that area of the world that you want to be in, or hanging out with those people that are who you want to become. and just take steps towards that. You could quantum leap it if you like, or you could take steps. Either way, I just want you to understand this concept first and foremost, and then apply it. So I'm just trying to think why I talk here. What else? How that has transpired? I guess you could say here as a real estate investor, I had that limiting the belief too, right? I had to start wholesaling because no money, no money down, no credits, that kind of thing. That was just literally the situation. But then you start, okay, I'm gonna do houses. I'm gonna wholesale houses, or then I want to like flip houses. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna do mobile homes first because it's cheaper and it's smaller. Yeah, okay, help maybe at first. Maybe it helps with risk. Then I got so used to single family homes, but then it's like, man, I want to get into multifamily. No way, you know what I mean? I remember my coach at the time. Well, he's the first coach I ever paid $20,000 to. I paid him 20 grand, and I got one phone call for 1 hour a month. But I could email him and all that stuff. I was just like, man, this is crazy. Like, this is supposed to make me better. But like those principles and the conversations I had with that person once a month, I still use to this day, and I passed on to other people that I help out. I also use them in my daily life. It's part of my teachings. I mean that 20,000 let actually when I came to AZREIA and when I was asked to become an educator before it all led to where I'm at now, but I was reteaching what I learned from that 20,000. So, I actually learned them and I applied them into my life, right? And to kind of hold off right there, I remember one of my conversations, I was like, hey, I want 40 rental property. I want a 40 unit building. At the time, maybe it was $2 million. I don't remember, but he's like, all right, call me next weekend and I'll help you negotiate the contract or write the contract or whatever it is you need from me. But 40 unit building, yeah, call me next week. So my brain was like, I was like, yo, what's going on here? But yeah, it just baffled me. So I couldn't grasp at buy a 40 unit building next weekend. In my head, I'm like, what about the money? I'm thinking about it. I'm in the business 3-4 years already, right? And I'm just like, I'm flipping, wholesaling houses. I'm making good money, quit my job. And now it's like another level up. I was comfortable, even though I went from cubicle at Verizon Wireless, like, oh shoot, how am I going to get into the business? It went to, doing the business, right? Following these steps from this book. Then at the point, I was like, I want to step up and get into multifamily. But then once again, I still had those beliefs. Oh my God, $1 million. All right. Oh my God, 40 units. Why? I'm used to $100,000 houses, right? So I got scared at that point, right? So I had to overcome that as well. So we all have it, right? And it's gonna happen at different levels, like I said, as you grow and expand. So I had to get around more multifamily. I remember someone in that group I was in the Facebook group of that. I was hosting a Cash Flow 101 board game, and someone from that group was in from California, and he was like, "Hey, what you got going on?" We are just networking, right? And he was like, "Hey, I got 300 units in Mesa." I was like, "Oh," okay. And I happened to be trying to get a sixplex under contract, and he's like, "Let's go see it." Oh, well, it's a great area, great numbers. Let's go. And in my head, I'm like, whoa, 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 how are we gonna buy it? And I'm like all like backpedaling. We'll slow down there. And he's just ready to buy it on the spot because it sounded so good to him. And I wasn't. I knew it was a deal, but I was taking my time on it because I was scared. Went down with we ended up buying it in short, but I was confident because I had him by my side. Maybe that's when I say get out there and be around these people doing it. Maybe you can partner with them or joint venture or get an assignment fee for bringing them the deal, right? So once you get out of here, you can get out there and put in the work and meet those type of relationships. So I would never own that. I still own that sixplex today. We bought it for $200,000 in 2017, and it's worth 1.2 million today, right? So it's just real estate's amazing. So I thank him to this day for showing up and talking to me. Right. So and it's built my confidence. So which led back to the $20,000 I paid for coaching. the lessons, the experiences, the coaching, the trainings, I started resharing at AZREIA at the events that I would educate at, from raising private money to some marketing to buying multifamily to creative structures like sub two, seller carryback. It was all a foundation based on the person I paid $20,000. So I taught at AZREIA for about 4 years or so before I was asked to take it over. If I'm not a teacher, I'm not an educator. I didn't go to school to be in this world. So if I didn't pay that $20,000 and apply it and listen to the coach and take these principles from this book and start teaching people and helping people, like people at AZREIA helped me as I was growing, I would never have been able to give back and provide this education, which ultimately built my real estate business, as well as allowing me the opportunity to own the largest real estate investing association in the country. It was because I paid that 20 grand back in like 15. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. So, you got to be in the game swinging the bat to hit the ball. So let's just change that financial temperature. This is episode 10, Release the Brakes, Jack Canfield's Success Principles. I'm going to do this for 64 episodes. I'll be back tomorrow for episode 11, which we'll be talking about. Let me pull it up here. See what you want, get what you see. All right, we'll find out what that's about tomorrow. Here on YouTube, if you like this, leave a comment, give a like, subscribe to our channel. Definitely appreciate it. And that's a wrap for today. Take it easy.